Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
Here, BRICS Africa channel, we're having a conversation with Mr. Brooks Spector, the associate editor at Daily Maverick. We're glad to have you here.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. Yesterday was quite calm. We came out, we looked at the landscape, it was quiet. Today, there are literally hordes of people here waiting for the introduction of the leaders who have gathered, because up until now, they haven't met.
Yes.
And so what we're all looking forward to is seeing how not so much how the discussion goes, but how the outcome goes. And that the reason why they're gathered is to agree on a joint communique or a declaration. And then the question really is, how specific is that declaration or communique, how detailed it is, as opposed to how anodyne, how general it is. The more general it is, it means that there were still disagreements about specific wording. And there's sort of obvious kinds of questions that pertain. If an issue is, say, climate change, the nations that are fossil fuel producers and fossil fuel users in large measure versus those people, those countries that are threatened by climate change, their agriculture, their seacoasts, their landscape, their weather is threatened by it. And so those are natural tensions between the various nations, because it's not a unified group, it's a very heterogeneous group of nations. But we wait, you, I, and everybody else in this room, we wait to see just how much unanimity can be brought forward among all the different leaders and their aides and specialists. And we'll find out soon enough, won't we? We'll find out by tomorrow afternoon.
Yes, we'll find out about tomorrow afternoon. But just on this question of resolutions and agreements or chairman's statement, what is your own view? What is it that you wish will come out as a resolution of this G20 gathering?
Well, I mean, part of the challenge, of course, is, as you know, the G20 isn't an executive body. It doesn't make enforceable decisions. It can't, for example, order a country to do something one way or the other.
Yes.
And so it depends a great deal on the promise and the pledge of a leader to make efforts to do something. And if that's the case, then when they meet, they find the middle ground that they can all agree on. Will they find, for example, enough agreement on new ways to deal with the burdens of sovereign debt, especially countries that have a large burden and limited resources to pay for it? Will they find ways to agree on encouraging new and innovative ways to generate investment? Will they find ways to agree on environmental protection, climate change, and things like that? Will they find ways to, one of the things I'm most interested in seeing is if there are lines in any agreement that speak to measures to roll back the tendency of protectionism. Because at least classically we all understood that trade, especially freer and fairer trade, is a powerful generator of economic growth among nations. And there has, unfortunately, in the last several years, been a tendency the other way,
yes,
towards more protectionism, either in tariffs or non-tariff barriers. And that is a challenging and possibly harmful, not possibly, but certainly harmful approach to international trade.
So will you identify the schism that is happening between South Africa and the US as a context between unilateralism and multilateralism?
Well, paradoxically, the fact that the U.S. is not at the meeting as a country delegation means that one of the largest disagreements doesn't take place,
Yes.
which may possibly make it easier for the nations that are here to reach agreement. If they are not forced to deal with the Trump administration's ideas about protectionist and tariff measures and reciprocal trade that enforces certain kinds of limitations, then maybe, and just maybe, it makes it easier for the nations that are here to come up with ideas, solutions, and recommendations.
Okay. Thank you very much, President, and thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you.